Peace, fam. What's good? It's your brother Cool. Islam, Islam, Islam. Islam. You know, so essentially, man, we at a point right now where we can no longer, I don't know about y'all, but for me personally, I can no longer stand and sit there and just talk about history, what happened, how do we get here, you know, this is what we've done, this is where our self-esteem is at. I'm focused on, man, what we doing right now. What we building on, what we working on, what's the next move, what's the next project, what's the next bill, you know what I'm saying? What's the next community project? Because there's Moorish Americans all over this goddamn continent, all over this planet. There's Moorish, there's Moors, not just Moorish American, there are Moors everywhere, all across the planet. But for us, particularly here in the wilderness of North America, we lost, man. We out to lunch. We are so lost in the sauce due to the fact that we've been played without knowing that we was getting played the whole time. You know, and not being put in situations where we're led to believe that there's something wrong with us as people. You know, you have an issue, ADHD, you're too much, you're bipolar, you have autism, you know, you don't see things clearly. That's bullshit. There is nothing wrong with you. You came exactly how you were supposed to come. Because maybe you need to go through that experience in order for you to be able to fulfill that mission you came here to do. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe in order to be an example or be an upliftment for people who don't have all their limbs and shit like that, maybe you had to come into the world like that to be a fucking example. Because if there are no examples and you're in that moment, then you've been chosen. You're the chosen one. You know what I'm saying? You're up. Boop. You've been tagged in. And so, and this is not to make light of people's situations, because life is life. But if you really look at life, you know what I'm saying, we're much more than this flesh. So it is a big ass joke, really. Like, yeah, all right, I'm a transition. I'm going to go. People will be sad and stuff like that. But I still live on. Okay? I still live on. So either way, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So if you think I'm gone, you tripping. If you think I'm here, you tripping. If you think I just got here, you tripping. I've always been here. Always will be here. All right? So, and that's on a metaphysical level. But what I'm saying is, in real time, on the physical plane, we need to take all those metaphysical principles and use our alchemical powers and abilities to transmute those metaphysical thoughts into physical real-time works that people can see, that you can show and prove, like, yo, this is what the movement is doing. This is what this knowledge has brought me to. This is what we can do with it. This is what we can't do with it. But if we're just going to come together and keep talking about the same old shit, talking about how we black, colored, don't have this, don't have that, we've been enslaved, we've been raped, we've been pillaged, we're continually being raped and pillaged, we're still being overseen. Like, if we're just going to come and complain and bitch and moan about how we've been treated because of the fact we don't know how to treat ourselves right, then that's on us. We can't keep putting that shit on other nations of people. So in one breath, we're the ones that civilized, right? We're our ancestors civilized, brought civilization and shit. And then in the same breath, we're talking about complacency, laziness, not giving a fuck. Because that's essentially what it boils down to. For people who don't know about this information, it's because they don't give a fuck. And excuse my language, but this is just me being real with it. You don't give a fuck. If you cared about nationality, if you cared about your future, the future of your children, the future of your children's children, the future of your children's children's children, if you cared, then you do something. But don't say you care, and the only thing you got to show how much you care is hours of fucking hot air. Hours upon hours upon hours of nothing but hot air. Good information, but like, where are the works? Right? Because we're supposed to judge each man not according upon their color, but upon their character. And you know what? Since I'm not inside your body, and since I'm not inside your mind, right? I can only be inside my mind. So therefore, if that's the case, the only way I'm going to know what's true about you is the shit that I see. Right? Because if you say one thing and I see you do another thing, then I know your character. Right? So if you talk about nation building and nationality and bringing us together, but then the actions show otherwise, you're full of shit. Okay? You're full of good words, but your works are dead. You breathe no life into your works. You breathe no life into your words because you're not manifesting your words in real time. All right? Everyone's talking and no one's manifesting. Like, yo. And then when you're trying to manifest and build, everyone wants to hold information and keep shit on the hush-hush. Like, we all Moors at the end of the day, man. We're all, like, it don't make no sense if I'm doing well and everyone else still fuck. Everyone else still getting raped and pillaged by foreigners, taxed left and right, heads barely above water, don't have any rights to ownership. Like, if it was just me by myself, I'd be cool. Now, would I be cool at the fact that it's just me by myself? No. I would not be cool with that. I'll tell you in a heartbeat, I would never want to experience freedom by myself. If I'm gonna experience freedom, I would want everyone to experience freedom. That way we can all relate. You know what I'm saying? But if we don't do that, and we're not willing to have the serious conversations, I'm not talking about religion. I'm not talking about ideological schools of thoughts. I'm talking about universal principles that go across the board, all across the planet. Everywhere you go, these same principles are applied everywhere. So if you can't apply these on a basic foundation, on a basic foundational level, how are you going to be able to speak and move mountains? You can't even move pebbles. You know what I'm saying? That's what it boils down to. How you going to move mountains? You can't move pebbles. You know what I'm saying? How you going to talk about owning land? You don't even have rights to your own body. How you going to stand up for your family? You can't stand up for yourself. How you going to be a strong man for your family if you so damn scared? You so scared of fucking up, scared of having an experience. I got tribal brothers who've been locked up. Have I been locked up? No. Can I tell you the reasons why I never got locked up? I don't know. I was being myself. I never yell. I never scream. You know what I'm saying? When I came out here in Washington, the first, 5 years? 5 years traveling. Never had a license. Still don't have a license out here. Traveling. Now that I know better, I know how to move properly. But prior to that, I was traveling. I was doing what I saw. I mean, I'm not saying what I saw. I was doing what I saw other Moors do, which I studied. So it's not like I saw more, oh, they're doing this shit, oh, I could do this shit too. No, I actually studied about driving. I knew what it was. I knew what the license was. I knew how it related in terms of the Constitution. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, I was like, oh, so this is my right. And I have a right to exercise it with impunity. If you try to put a fee or a tax on that, I have a right to move with impunity. Meaning, fuck what you said, I still got a right to move. It's notwithstanding. So I did that. 5 years. Did I come into interactions with police constables? Yes. Did I ever get locked up or my car taken? No. Never ever. Never happened to me. Always left the situation with my vehicle. I never had issues. Now, I'm not going to tell you I had the secret juice or secret sauce recipe on how to always ensure that shit don't happen. I was just being myself. I studied, so I just applied what I studied. And I talk to people intelligently. I don't got to sit there and yell and scream at people and, you know, try to make people feel dumb to get my point across. You can be very arrogant and I'll be mellow as a motherfucker and still get my point across because I know I make sense. What I come to find out is that when I make sense, when you make sense and someone's getting angry, analyze that shit. Because if someone's getting angry because you make sense, That's worth looking into. All right. So once again, if we're really talking about the nation building aspect, you have to go through experiences. How can you be a nation if you never went through experiences as a nation? What fortifies me with my tribe and my government is the fact that I've been through experiences with my tribal members under my government. I've had experiences. Good, bad, either way, learned from them. Pushed forward after those experiences. Didn't like retract back, didn't go backwards, went forward. You know what I'm saying? Got more wisdom, more understanding, more power, more application, more knowledge. Therefore, more results, more works, more things to do, more adventures to take on, right? More challenges to face. So this is real, man. This is like real life. This isn't like fantasy, you know, Oblivion, Skyrim type shit. Like, this is real life. And if you don't take this, if you don't give this the proper respect and the proper time and the proper consideration and the proper energy, you're gonna get fucked up. Because ignorance of the law is no excuse. All right. So obviously, I've been blessed that I'm not an ignorant man. Though I once was an ignorant man, I don't have to live the rest of my life out like that. I don't have to live out my life as an ignorant man. All right? So when I came to that crossroads, I made a choice. I chose not to live as an ignorant man. To live as a very competent, intelligent man that is all about action. That does what the fuck he says he's going to do. No doubt, no contradiction, no excuses. You know what I'm saying? So that's what builds character. If you're talking about masonry, point of masonry is to build character. Niggas think niggas just building stones and shit. They just making buildings. No, it's not about making buildings. It's about building your character one brick at a time. Each brick, right, is an experience. First, it starts off as mud because you're in the shit, right? You're in it, so it's muddy, all right? But once you can step outside of it and you can look at it, and you're no longer in the mud, you can actually let the mud be still and dry. Now you can put that motherfucker out in the sun. Then you got a brick. And that brick is your experiences. And once you got that experience solid, once you got it down, packed and solid, you can lay that motherfucker down and go on to the next one. So you can lay another one down and another one down and another one down. And then next thing you know, 5, 6 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, 50 years pass by. And you're you. And you're at that point now where years have passed by and you're at an amazing place in your life because of the work you put in early, not later, right? Because we ain't trying to wait. I'm not waiting for my reward in so-called heaven. I am in heaven right now. I'm in heaven right now. It ain't perfect. It ain't perfect, but it's heaven. Because I am myself. No one's on my back. I don't got no one's foot on my shoulders. I'm not holding anyone up. I'm not holding anyone down. I'm grounded. And I'm just trying to lift myself up. And it's a beautiful thing that people, as people watching me try to lift myself up, they want to lift themselves up. So we can all be lifting ourselves up. And then once we see we all lifted, guess what? We can all just, yo, grab my hand, cool. Once you get tired, I got you. Once I get tired, you got me. Reciprocal. But you see, if we just want to stick to the same old fucking timeline, the same old shit, talk about the same old shit and not do anything different, that's insanity. If we're expecting things to change but we don't do anything different, that's called insanity. So obviously, if we want different results, we got to do different things. Okay? And it's that simple. And I just wanted to leave you with that, family. All right? So on that note, peace, love, and light. It's your brother Coach.